So, now that we have the event of World War III created, we can go to take an image of this. Oops. Dang it. I accidentally opened ChatGPT, which is right next to it. Alright. I'm taking a picture. And we know where it's birthed from. It's birthed from Moscow. That's where everything is going to take place at. They stored it. Actually, that's not actually true. That's where the nukes will come from. But that's not where it starts. Let's see what this says. I don't think I have to do that. Let's see what this says. Because this is the surface level of seeing it in Moscow. It's not, but there's a deeper thing. This for the future collective souls what's at stake. Death, secrets, rebirth, and diplomatic skills, not tears, it's also you. This is where you carry, you feel it before the world does. This is cyber warfare. Narrative collapse. Surveillance use of weapons of manipulation. The next generation is born from this chaos. The war itself is creative. Identity, intelligence, eminence. Now it's planetary. So this, the underworld awakens in the hidden house. This is the invisible regime. Spiritual warfare, psychological takeover. It is not fought on the battlefield. It is fought in identity, intelligence, eminence. Sound familiar? That's the Comic-Con ethos. So all this comes together, guys. Ending the illusion of democracy. World War III is not about war. It's about ending the illusion of democracy, revealing prophetic blueprints rooted in history, activating your Ukrainian mind for those who can carry it, separating souls by consciousness, not allegiance. It's your return on your birthday in the language of the stories you were born under. This is not a coincidence. This is a coronation. So, we've got that figured out. So, I want to look at. So Moscow does look like the right one. But that's not the full truth. We know that it starts in Chernobyl. It starts in Pripyat. A missile fly. A star hits the Kremlin. That's the wormwood prophecy, and it makes the waters bitter. That's the wormwood prophecy. That's nuclear war. Globally. It's Chernobyl global. More global than Chernobyl actually was, if you can imagine that. Let's see. If we have 4-3, we would look at another date. We're going to transit. We need to. How would I do this? 04 0 13 2033. It might not be this day, it might be another day, but I know that it's one of these days. It could be the 14th. So, I'm going to show you why I got that date. It's because of Palm Sunday in 2033, which is April 10th. So 3 days later, would we use April 13th? I'm not sure how we're going to do this. We're going to see what this says. See if we have a connection there. Because that's what I want to talk about next. Because there was one thing that is not on the world stage yet. And we've already talked about it. We talked about Ukraine. We talked about Russia. What's missing of the Crimea? So we got to figure out where Crimea is, and that's the convergence I was talking about before. If we just looked at World War III and Crimea, we wouldn't have to do all this back, going through this process. But if everything is right, Crimea and World War III will point directly into each other, and that's how everything aligns. That's what I'm looking for. is a collision between justice and force. Okay, so here, this looks interesting. The ongoing Saturn-Uranus square is the central theme of this war. Control versus chaos, government versus information, authority versus technology. Illusions and reality. That's what I'm seeing. Comic-Con. It says in the 5th house of children, creation, legacy, which means what's being born now will shape the future beyond the war itself. Alright, so we have a Comic-Con thing there. So that ties to Crimea. It's exactly innovation, rebellion, global systems. This is the moment when the world's true nature becomes public, secrets are released, the mask comes off. The day might be when people finally understand the war was never about borders, about transcendence and judgment. The state is a warning, a checkpoint in prophecy. This is actually the day when Russia throws out its constitutions, it throws out its justice systems, it throws out everything that makes Russia under Putin Russia today. This is the way that Putin can redeem himself in Russia. This is the day. April 13th, 2033. Or April 14th if you want to go that route. Or the 12th. I'm interested. Is the festival a sacrifice? I don't think it would be. Uh, 2033. Yeah, I didn't think it was. You want to get something like that in succession like that. Things don't tie in like that. You have to relate the constant. And the only constant here is me and my birthday. That's what we've been tying into. And that's the constant. Not even the sun is the constant, but my birthday is. So, so that makes me think, well, let's do something tied to that date, which would be I'm going to add World War III, keep World War III, and then we're going to use a new chart, which is this. It's Crimea. This is when Crimea would separate itself from Russia and Ukraine. This is when it becomes transcendent. It goes over everybody. But to do that, the rest of the global world will have to fall. The United States, all of them, has to fall. Crimea is not just territory but a cosmic fulcrum. Crimea becomes detached from its old purpose, emotionally and spiritually. Yeah, Crimea was never independent. It was either part of Russia or Ukraine. It's doing the Soviet. It was never declared independence. Really, it was always autonomous to someone else. But now it says for the first time in history, it suggests that Crimea becomes detached from its old purpose, emotionally and spiritually. It becomes its own thing. It transcends. This is not about borders. It's about inheritance. This is Crimea's reckoning, a confrontation with the deepest spirit identity and the world watches. A grand cross is... We got a grand cross? I don't see one. Dude, those are rare in astrology. Closing 4 percentage at 90. Wow. Those are rare. The Grand Cross, or Grand Square, is one of the rarest natal chart aspects in astrology. A Grand Cross happens when there's 4 personal planets separated by 90 degrees on the birth chart, forming a square shape and cross in the birth chart. A source of extreme tension whereby various aspects of the personality working at cross purposes that serve to nullify each other. So we got I gotta see an image of it because I don't see it. We got one of them? Wait, do we? Do we have one? I don't see it. I'm not seeing it. Big sign Grand Cross. What are they fixed on Grand Cross? Is that different? Okay. What does that mean? I've never seen one before. I've heard of them. I just never seen it before. Who's where we're gonna, but does not know where to direct their talents. Okay. Do we have that? Let me see. I don't know. Someone, I can't interpret that. I don't know. Someone in astrology, please tell me, is that true? Alright. It says it is. It says Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, Aquarius is when all roads like no escape, only fulfillment. You either fulfill design or shadow under it. For me, it becomes a theater for global energy, trapped in a deadlock. Charm on the rooted healer. The system of control that holds Crimea breaks under the weight of its own destiny, awakening with responsibility, guilt, and the false father. Whether it's that leader, ideology, or the natural myth, there would be Russia and Ukraine opposing forces working together to make it decentralized. So it's the heaven above heaven. If I know I said before Ukraine was the kingdom of heaven, I said that, but Crimea is the heaven above heaven. It's the Excalibur, which is the ultimate test of sovereignty, and I've said that before, and this points to that. Is the day the war opens Crimea like a sealed book, and what pours out isn't just blood or politics, it's prophecy. It's the truth of why Crimea mattered all along. Apparently I got down the first try, April 13th. It could have been April 10th, which is 3 days before. It could have been April 13th, or it could have been April 20th. What day is Easter? Easter in 2033. April 17th. Okay, so it's April 17th, 3 days later. So April 13th. Right. Well, Palm Sunday is... Did I get that wrong with Jesus died 6 days later? Something like that. I know he rose... He went on Palm Sunday but died on... Well, he didn't die on Easter. He rose again on Easter. Alright, so that would mean he died 4 days later? Palm Sunday, April 14th. Wait, no. 10 minus 17. Should 17 minus 10 is 7 days. So 3 days. So he died 3 days later. He must have died 3 days after Jerusalem and then rose 3 days later on the 7th day. Interesting. 7 days. 7 weeks. 7 days in a week. 7 years. I'm past my 14 minutes. Hopefully I can upload. Anyways, I'll end it here. Like I said, part 8. Looks like we're done. Thank you for watching. And this was an interesting journey. So, I'll see you guys later.